what could be better?
She liked it. I know. Thank you so much. I'm Shigo vibes. This is my first time at San Diego Comic-Con.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've never been before.
Welcome.
Thanks. No, it's massive. Like, we do Comic-Cons all the time. Like, we do Fan Expo, and we do, we've done Wizard World back in the day. So those are very different.
Yeah.
And there's always like hiccups and like little things, but this is like a well-oiled machine, and it's like just huge. Like, I can't even, so no, I can't really fathom it, and I'm just here for it.
It's amazing work too. I mean, you said that Will was just saying that the reason that you started it was because literally conventions. People always asking how do I become one.
That's it, yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
What do you think that? How do you feel about that impact of like that love of wanting to recognize voiceover acting with like in comparison to like not separating or alienating it from like live on camera acting?
Well, I think that the arts is extremely important. So when you go to Comic-Cons and, you know, there are people who are so talented and they have a voice inside of them and they have a hard time getting it out because some of them may be on the spectrum or, you know, in general, they're so artistic, but they're from a small town and they don't know how they're, you know, even to start. They have no mentorship. They have nobody to look to. And so here we are, we pop up in their town and we give them a microphone and we say, go ahead, like go for it. Have that experience and we will prop you up and hype you up, and hopefully they take that with them and feel like they're encouraged to continue to develop their talent. Like, I don't think that I Hear Voices is trying to say like, oh, we're gonna pick you out and you're immediately gonna be the most famous person in the world. I've always said that like immediate fame is not the healthiest thing in the world, but what's important is that if you have the arts in your life and you know that it's like voice acting is a very, I feel like, inclusive world, because like even Will says, like you can play, like on camera you can't play certain things, but you could be this huge hero, you could be this amazing superhero, and you can voice that character, and that can live in you for a really, really long time. Like Kim Possible and like her empowerment and her strength of character like still lives in me, and at times in my life she's been something I've like fell on in terms of that thought process. So it can be such an amazing career for you, and you know, the pay is not as good as you'd think it is, but a lot of people aren't doing it for the pay. They're doing it for that feeling and that connection to the art form.
One question with your podcast, you had some amazing voice actors come on there. What were some like highlights of things that were said that they gave for their advice that stuck with you guys, or some memorable moments that really like stuck?
So I think the cool thing about talking to these folks is that even though Will may know some of these people very, very well, I think even he's surprised at some of the information that we get from them, because we really make them go back. People have never really asked voice actors to talk about themselves. Like, we talk about their work, we make them do the voice, which we do too on our podcast. But there's so much more to talk about when it comes to the art and the way that they bring themselves. So someone like John DiMaggio, he was a comedian, a stand-up comic, but he also had a million jobs. Somebody like Miley Flanagan, the voice of Naruto, she was gonna be a spy for the CIA, and her dad was a spy, and like these crazy stories from these great actors, which kind of, if a person is listening to this and if they happen to be very interested in trying to break in, no matter where they're from, they have a story. And so there's an origin story for every one of these icons, and that's kind of like what we do is, yeah.
Honestly and truly, that's how you know it's good, with the genuinity that's there.
Oh yeah, we're trying, we're doing it, and we're just doing it. Like, no one's gonna, you know, deter us from doing it. We're gonna keep doing it. And
Exactly.
I think that's why it's growing so fast.
Do you have a question, Lynn?
I had one more. So I also asked Will this, but my sister is very interested in voice acting eventually. That's her right there.
Hey!
And so I was just wondering if you have any advice for like post-high school, like schooling or programs, or like how to grow her talent and develop it more.
Well, I always say you probably should have a really good microphone. Did he talk to her about, what's his name, T. Baker?
No.
He has not.
Okay. Bradley T. Baker. Bradley T. Baker. Sue, is it Bradley T. Baker? Is that his name?
D. Bradley Baker.
D. Bradley Baker. Okay, that's my like dyslexia. D. Bradley Baker, and he basically has a class that you could take online, and a lot of people swear by it because he tells you exactly how to set up a home booth. Everything is done at home at some point or another. So if you're really interested in doing it, then you need to at least have your booth set up. Then you should go through like that kind of a class from a great like that and really get to know where your voice sits and whether you could do a 10-year-old boy, and that's like your shtick. And then you could also become a contestant on our show if you're really interested in it. We have like this great opportunity happening that I don't know if you talked about. Yeah.
Talk more about the iHeart contest that you guys are having.
So iHeart's a partner, but this was a contest that I think they're going to help us with insofar that when the person wins, they also will do iHeartRadio commercials. It's like an opportunity for them to get their big break, not just through the iHeart job, but then also they're going to get a year-long contract with CESD, and CESD is the top, like one of the top, I don't know, 5 best voice agencies that you could possibly be rep by. They will get you out to so many opportunities that it would be only a matter of time if you took it seriously from our, opportunity that we give you, that you would book work. It's like a big break. And so we're really working to set people up for success here. And I think as we go along with this contest and we figure out how the rules all go, we're gonna really shine in that way, set people up, and it's gonna be really hard because there's so many talent. Even today, we had so many people just come up. I don't know if it was on a whim or whether they were dared to do it, but we had at least 50 to 60 people come up.
Oh wow!
To the microphone and like give them their, like, we drew pictures and we had them on a camera and they would voice those characters.
So cool.
And we would do 2 different sides of the room, so each person did it totally different. And so there's so many ways that people can get into voice acting, and I think that's where we're focused on helping them. Yeah.
So we're on the Kim Possible talk right now. I asked Liz, but I want to hear what your answer is. Who friend zoned you first?
Oh man. I definitely think Kim friend zoned him because I think she's really shy, and I think that like if she had feelings for him, I think they knew each other since they were kids too. So I don't think that those feelings were things that she was probably so laser focused on like all her missions. I just think it's a unique kind of connection that they have though, because it's like I've been married now for a long time, and so much of that like boy like craziness like goes away so quickly, and then what you're left with is companionship. And so what promoted like this non-toxic relationship between them, where he just like supported her and like propped her up for success and was like there for her, and not a creepy way. Like it was a really, really wonderful way to see the dynamic of him being the like the sidekick, I guess.
Yeah.
And like that was also really big for the time when it came out, because it gender flipped the power dynamics, and people were like, wow, okay, so she really is empowered. And so he was a big part of that conversation of the girl empowerment.
Literally still one of the healthiest relationships I've ever seen.
Exactly. It's crazy. They did a great job.
And like when we were kids watching that, we're like, this is healthy. It's like,
yeah. They were just friends.
Exactly.
And it was like, and I think they knew where it was going, but even that was handled really well. And even when they became an item, like it wasn't a big thing. It wasn't like the main thing.
Exactly.
I just love the way that Kim was written, which is why I think it could serve a whole new generation, because it's just keep going with it.
But like, stay, please.
I'm like, let's make a TikTok.
Yes.
Or down, we all love TikTok.
But yeah, really hilarious.
Oh, thank you. I'm always like, Jesus, what am I going to do today? I tried to do the weird wavy thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we got it. We did it. Do you know the one? It's like, it's a wave effect,
and then you do it like
I think,
this,
and then it goes, and you don't move, and it just moves your butt for you. It's very funny.
I love that
So
one.
I'm like trying. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your support, lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, so like I moved here when I was 8 from Bulgaria.
Oh, wow.
And Kim Possible was like the first TV show I watched here
Oh,
when I
good.
moved here.
Oh,
So
that's
it was-
amazing.
It was quickly like my favorite thing, and then obviously even Stevens.
Good. Okay, good.
Yes.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I approve. I approve. Yeah, even Stevens was like when I look back, though, some of the humor is crazy. It's like some of it's like innuendo and stuff, but I don't think it was like he has a podcast where he's going back and like since it was like a little bit earlier, there's some things that they said and did where they're like, oh, we wouldn't handle things like that now. I don't know. I haven't done a watch of Even Stevens, but I'm sure there may be some problematic things. But even then, with Even Stevens, we tried to really we tried.
Yeah.
I think they did some really slapsticky stuff, like innuendo-y stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely some innuendo-y stuff. But I think that was where it kind of began and ended.
Yeah.
They tried to be very like even back then. I remember them trying to be inclusive. Yeah, time has changed. Time has changed, and so everything is very in-house. And I own all my own cameras, and I've learned so much that I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want to have to be on set 12 hours a day unless I was producing, directing, or like having a share in that. I don't want to necessarily be working unless I'm really drawn to doing that. Like I think that we all understand now that time is so valuable. Like the content that you consume, the brands that you buy into, like all of that stuff. I knew it.
You're getting like a sixth sense now.
I know. I
knew it was
can feel
coming.
you. I can feel.
She knows when I get little brothery, and I'm
I
like,
can feel the craziness.
knew it was coming.
I think what it's taught me is that my time is valuable, even though I am a brand and like it's a very branded space. But at the same time, like you can still be authentic and profit. That's it. It's like you have to all find a way to do it, but you can. And there's enough room for everybody. That's for sure.
Amazing. It has been so lovely to talk to you.
Well, thank you guys. Good luck.
Yeah, we all were grew up.
Oh, I love you guys.